Welcome back. Tonight, social media and sharks. Sure, there seems to be a lot of viral videos recently of close encounters between people and sharks. Researchers are reporting more sharks on the East Coast, but are they really closer to shore now, or are there just more people with cameras putting those videos up on social media, and are more people risking life and limb literally to get a photo of a shark with a toothy smile? Joining us for more are Bob Huter, the Director of Shark Research at Mote Marine Lab, and Chloe Conboy, our ABC7 digital content producer. Thank you for joining us both. Bob, I have seen stories here. In fact, one story here from CBS News that researchers are reporting seeing more sharks on the East Coast.
Sure. Well, Alan, it's a combination of some of the shark populations are rebuilding. They are increasing in numbers because we've had very stringent fisheries management for sharks over the last 25 years, and after a long period of decline, we are getting back some of the healthier shark stocks, like the blacktip shark, which is a fairly small species. But also, we're putting more cameras in the sky, cameras on the water. You know, in a lot of the cases, these sharks have always been there. It's just that we're capturing it more on camera.
Well, let me ask you this, because you gave me this really fascinating chart that shows that unprovoked shark attacks in the world and in the United States, it looks like since the late 1980s, the number of unprovoked shark attacks has risen dramatically.
Well, it's risen steadily. Let's put it that way. And the interesting thing was, in the beginning of that period, sharks populations were crashing, they were declining, so that was not due to increasing numbers of sharks. It was actually due to more people in the water. And we're now in a situation where we've got so many people around the world in the water that things are going to happen. About 80 or so bites a year.
Chloe, explain to me what happens here, because like any news story or any good video, we get it, we put it out there, and whether it's an individual or a news organization or any website, you want it to go viral.
Yeah, I mean, Alan, we get so many videos of these shark videos that go viral almost daily. I mean, a lot of my position at ABC7 is having to filter through what gets posted on our website, on our app, and goes into the newscast. So we really have to decide, you know, which videos will perform the best, but in a lot of instances we do get multiple videos of the same sharks within the same day. So there are a lot of copycat videos of people trying to one-up each other to see kind of who can get the most views. So
when you have something that is interesting or outrageous in some way, what do you see in terms of how it explodes in terms of the number of views it gets?
I mean, it kind of all depends. I wish I had the magic answer of what really makes a video go viral, because that would make my job so much easier here. But I mean, it's really just kind of something that's really unknown. But I think just having any really up-close animal encounter here on the Suncoast is going to do phenomenal on our website.
All right, our conversation on shark videos here on the Suncoast continues right. Welcome back. We are talking about shark videos taken here on the Suncoast, and joining us for more are Bob Huter, the Director of Shark Research at Mote Marine Lab, and Chloe Conboy, ABC7 digital content producer, and now the case in point. Chloe, we recently saw a video shot not far away from here of a hammerhead shark, which went viral. What exactly was that?
So what it was is we had a viewer send in video of a hammerhead shark chasing a tarpon through Longboat Key, kind of near Jewfish Island. This video got almost 1,200 shares, and it was seen by almost 200,000 people. So quickly, this video just automatically blew up on our website. And then within another 10 minutes, there's another video sent in of a couple on their jet ski vacationing on Siesta Key, seeing about the same sized hammerhead shark swimming through the Gulf. So I mean, it's just amazing.
So Bob, that's the essence of what we're talking about tonight. Sure. Are there more instances of hammerhead sharks around here close to shore, or is it just that there are more people with all sorts of cameras?
Well, I wish I could tell you that there's more hammerhead sharks, but there actually aren't. They've always been here. They've been doing this for eons. It's just that everybody at the beach, everybody in their boat has a smartphone. So everybody's getting video, and they're posting it in social media, and we're getting to see it. And as a scientist, I love it, because we really get to capture these animals, you know, see what they're doing in the wild. But it's not reflecting any kind of trend in terms of more sharks along the beach.
The other question is, are people risking life and limb, as I said at the outset, to get these shots because they are incredible animals, and you want to get that shot, you want your video to go viral?
Sure. It depends on how you do it. I mean, if you do it, if you're smart, if you have a drone, obviously there's no threat, and we get great footage from a drone. But if you go out in the water and you stand in front of a feeding shark, I don't care whether it's an aggressive shark against people or not, you're risking danger because you're getting in the way of that animal trying to feed. Hammerheads, for example, they're not animals that normally bite people. It's very rare that hammerheads bite people. But if you see one along the beach, and they will come along the beach among people sometimes going after tarpon, get out of the way. Give the animal space, and it will continue on after that tarpon or stingray or whatever it wants to eat.
Chloe, how often do you see video come in here? Maybe not even specifically just about sharks, but people that you see are taking risks that they should not take to get that shot or to get that video?
Well, for an instance, we just had a viewer send in a video of manatees mating right off the beach. I mean, probably in knee-deep water, and you see people gathering up, as this close to the manatees, and you're not supposed to touch them or get anywhere near them when they are mating close to the shore. So really taking that risk is, something we don't recommend for people to capture these great videos. It's definitely something people need to be careful with.
And you talked about that with the hammerhead video, how just about 250,000 views on, of that video. Where are those views? Are they locally around here, around the state, around the country, around the world?
Most of the shares came from locally and on the Suncoast area, but a lot of it kind of ventured up into northern Florida. So, I mean, it definitely mainly was part in the Suncoast, but it gets shares from mutual friends, and our main driver of when people view our videos is from our ABC7 Facebook page. So that's kind of where we are getting all the views.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break. We are just getting warmed up. Our conversation on shark videos here on the Suncoast will continue after a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. We are talking about sharks close to shore. And joining us for more are Bob Huter, Director of Shark Research at Mote Marine Lab, and Chloe Comboy, ABC7 Digital Content Producer. And Bob, you were telling me during the break, the real danger here is not to people so much as the sharks.
Yeah, Alan, I would never want to minimize the human safety factor. Human safety is, of course, number one importance in all cases. But what's really happening in terms of the effect of social media and trying to get glory shots of sharks is it's causing the land-based, what we call land-based shark fishermen, people that are fishing from beaches, to want to get that great picture for Instagram or that great post for Facebook. So instead of catching the shark and practicing proper catch and release, leaving the animal in the water and then cutting the leader, letting it go, they're dragging the shark up out of the water onto the sand so they can get that great shot, not realizing that they're pretty much sentencing that animal to death in a lot of cases.
And Chloe, to get that shot, I mean, people are putting it on Facebook or, all the different social media platforms, and that's how it explodes online.
Exactly, and that's exactly what people are trying to do. It's almost like a one-up contest of, who can catch the biggest shark, who can have the most views, who can have the most followers, and people are just doing whatever they can to gain that attraction on social media. So,
Bob, we talked about that chart that you showed us in terms of the unprovoked shark attacks around the world, and how it's increased as the amount of people are in the water, and the return of sharks to the water. Obviously, that chart does not talk about provoked shark attacks. Is there any kind of data out there in terms of how many cases it's been that people do things stupid and basically almost invite these animals to bite?
Yeah, you can't fix stupid sometimes. Well, the data here are from the International Shark Attack File, which is at the University of Florida, and they separate out what they call the provoked from the unprovoked incidents. So those data are the unprovoked attacks, And I would guess that they probably get about half as many of the same numbers of incidents that are called provoked, that they separate out and say, no, these are not what we would call shark attacks of the unprovoked variety.
We seem to have a fascination with sharks. I know I have ever since I was a kid, but now we have a whole week, Shark Week, that is dedicated to all sorts of programming about sharks on one of the cable networks. And Bob, I'm curious what you think in terms of the impact that has had, good and bad, in terms of people's behavior and also what they try to get up there on social media.
Yeah, I mean, Shark Week for me is a real mixed bag. A lot of it I just cringe because I see a lot of hype, and a lot of times the programming actually is emphasizing fear in a way that we shouldn't be doing anymore. It's kind of playing on the Jaws mystique about sharks. But then some programming is actually quite good, and it's more scientific, and it shows the beauty of the animals and so on. So that it's a mixed bag, but there's no question. I mean, how many other animals out there have their own week on television? And it's not just Discovery Channel, it's all the media outlets that jump on board with this and get excited about Shark Week. So it definitely raises the level of interest in sharks, and but it also can fuel some of this when we're talking about getting these videos.
Right, and Chloe, I'm wondering, and I don't know if you have the answer to this, but can you make an equation from Shark Week and this programming, good and bad, that's on television, to what people do in terms of going out and either looking for sharks or taking really chances that they should not take to catch them on video?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think I have the answer, but we did receive a higher volume before Shark Week of all the shark videos recently when there were the two whale shark sightings off Anna Maria Island, and then recently the hammerhead shark sighting off Longboat Key. So I'm not sure if, Shark Week really plays into the whole equation of, increasing what people do to capture these social media videos.
As a scientist, I can weigh in on that. I think that all those people that were sending you those videos and posting those videos, when Shark Week comes along, they're not out there. They're all watching Shark Week.
That could be the
So
that
they
could
stopped
happen.
posting for a while. Now after Shark Week, we'll probably see it return.
Now, Bob, we talk about Florida almost being the epicenter of shark with bites or attacks or whatever. Is it really this coast or the East Coast, and are these the type of sharks that can cause considerable damage?
Actually, the occurrence of shark bites or attacks on this coast is very rare. Even though Florida as a state accounts for almost 25% of the number of unprovoked attacks or bites in the world every year, almost all of those, the great majority of those are on the East Coast, especially in the area around Daytona Beach, Volusia County, a place we call Shark Alley, where there's big groups of these mid-sized to small sharks feeding in the surf zone, and there's surfers out there, there's bathers, and people are getting their hands bitten, their ankles bitten, and every one of those individual bites is counted as an attack. So we look like we're the focus of all these attacks, when in fact most of these are not very serious.
What kind of sharks are those?
Primarily a species called the blacktip shark, which we have here on the Gulf Coast. But the difference is on the East Coast, you've got a very narrow continental shelf. You can see blue water right out there, and it drops off.
Yeah, and you provided me with a chart that shows that Florida and the Southeast really is the epicenter for shark attacks around the world. But when you're talking about fatal shark attacks, there were really very few, and the closest one to us was Cuba.
Last year, that's true. Well, the Cuba attack was extremely unusual. Cuba has had very few fatal shark attacks, very few attacks, so that was an outlier. But only five fatalities last year, 2 on Reunion Island, 1 in Australia, and 1 in Cuba, and I forget where the other one was. It's on the map there. But we occasionally get one in Florida, but it's maybe one a decade.
And really around this time of year, we're also seeing videos and stories coming out of New England off of Cape Cod and off of Massachusetts. And we're talking about great whites up there, and there seems to be stories that people are seeing more of them, and obviously great whites from our fabled history and the movies are really what puts the fear in men and women.
Well, they are formidable predators. They're the top dog out there, the top predator. And I work personally on white sharks on the ship O-Search, which is an organization that Moat collaborates with. Yes, and as a matter of fact, the white shark population is beginning to rise after a long period of decline. So a lot of people are saying, is that really a good thing? Well, the fact is the ecosystem is out of balance in the Northeast, and we have the white shark prey, seals, that are completely overpopulated. We need to bring these animals back, and they're not going after people. We know through our satellite tracking that they come very close to the beach in Florida in the wintertime, have never bothered anybody down here. So.
And Chloe, you have posted some of these videos that we have gotten locally. Where can people who are watching this right now find them?
Yes, anybody that wants to see these videos, they can go to the ABC7 Sarasota Facebook page. We have a My Suncoast Twitter page. We also have the mysuncoast.com website, where we've also compiled an article with where you can watch all of these videos of all the shark videos sent in to us. And then we also encourage people to always send us any pictures or photos or videos to pix, P-I-X, at mysuncoast.com. So.
But we encourage people to be careful out there.
Correct.
And keep their distance and
Correct.
be safe. So also the sharks are safe because it's their home.
And we need them.
Absolutely.
We do need them.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you both for being here tonight. We want to thank Bob Huter, the Director of Shark Research at Moat Marine Laboratory, and Chloe Conboy, ABC7 Digital Content Producer, for joining us tonight.